Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherri Hanson. Thanks for joining us today. I'm with Brad Helmke from, well, it's no longer Helmke Ltd., but we're going to talk a little bit about that. But we're talking taxes. And I know that a lot of times when you start thinking taxes, it's just kind of like, fall asleep.
Well,
but it's a reality, isn't it? We have to face it.
Yep, it's pretty much a for sure all the time and stuff. But,
so thanks for joining me, Brad. Tell me first about, you got a merger.
Well, this last summer and stuff, I kind of started talking about, doing different things, and I got to try to think of a way to maybe someday transition out of this business.
You mean you want to retire someday?
Maybe someday. I think I have the luxury of being able to have a job where I can work really hard for 3 months, and then maybe when it's not so busy, I can take time off and maybe be semi-retired. So it's kind of a nice deal.
It is nice. But those hours you put in on tax season is pretty midnight burning oil.
Pretty much 7 days a week and 8 to midnight pretty much every day, other than maybe going to church on Sunday. But so that's
got to keep it balanced, right?
Keep it balanced, yeah. So anyways, we were talking, and the United Community Bank needed more space, and so they purchased my office building in Perm, and so that kind of was another reason, and I had to find a different location. But at the same time, I was looking at someday saying, well, what do I do? Do I sell my practice? Do I find a young CPA to come in and take over, or do I merge with somebody? Well, kind of decided that the latter was the choice. That Bob Beckris and Clay Schott and Chris DeConcini and Judy Johnson have a CPA office in DL, Detroit Lakes, and then they have a small office in Perm, and so I just thought it was a good fit for me.
It is a nice fit.
A good fit for me, and so we made 2 offices into one, and so I merged effective January 1. It doesn't really mean any big changes for my clients or their clients. I'm still going to take care of all the people that I've always taken care of, and they'll take care of their people. So people won't notice a big difference in that regard. But we'll have more coverage because we have more people, we'll have more clients. But
well, okay, now you were right on Main Street in Perm, your Perm office, because I do want to say that you do have a Vergas office. Every Wednesday you can make sure you can come and see Brad here in Vergas. But your Perm office was right on Main. And if you just look kitty corner, that's where you ended up at.
Right, yeah. We're on the same city block, but in the opposite corner. And so
did you change any phone numbers? Or?
Yep, we had 2 phone numbers. They had their number and we had ours, so we changed to 346-4200. Just thought that would give a little bit of separation from the old numbers and stuff, but that we'd have our own identity and whatnot. But
so what happens if they call the old number?
It still rings in.
It does, okay.
Yeah. They got to pay for that, but it still rings in.
Yeah, that's probably smart for a little while.
We're going to do that for a little bit until people get used to the new number.
Well, that's good. Congratulations on all that. That's pretty exciting. And hopefully, like you say, it will relieve you a little bit down the road. But it's nice to have that. I mean, sometimes you can pool those resources, and it just helps a lot. What's new in taxes, Brad?
Well, people are talking about the fiscal cliff and all the things that are going on and stuff. Nothing really, they at the midnight hour they decided to kind of basically just extend the Bush tax cuts, forward, and so for 2012, 2013, for sure, those 2 years we still have the old tax system. There is some, there are some new things coming up, but most of it's affecting higher income taxpayers.
And, I don't have to worry.
And so, 95, 99% of my clients are in that, in that lower tax situation, and so a lot of the new things that are happening really won't probably affect them. But so by and large, most of the people are going to see the same results that they had in the past.
Well, that's kind of reassuring, because I think it got so confusing that a lot of people just weren't sure, and they're maybe even putting off getting their taxes done because they don't want to know.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to be status quo, same as normal, and I don't think there's any really new deductions or new incomes or things like that people have to worry about. It's going to be the same as before. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of oil and gas money from North Dakota come in this way.
You are?
So,
okay.
There's some people that have connections to North Dakota through some mineral rights, and so we're seeing some clients that are getting that income, and I think they're bringing it to Minnesota though too. So that's
probably
a good thing. Yep.
Okay, on a bank side, I know, do you still advise people to put money into IRAs,
Yep.
HSAs?
Yep. We still, I think that's really, if people can kind of set themselves up to, I tell a lot of people, I said, if you can just put it in your budget to say, okay, here's how much I want to do every year.
What is the max this year? 6,000?
Well, it's 5,000. For people that are, I believe it's under 50, and if you turn 50, I think you can put an extra 1,000 in there.
Right,
So each person can put 6,000 into a regular IRA, can put 6,000 into a Roth IRA, one or the other, or a combination of both. But 5 or 6 is kind of the magical number, and there's other pension plans too. But I think people have to get to a comfort level and just say, okay, look, I want to save. If you're young, if you're 25 or 30 years old, you say, I want to save $3,000 a year, and that's my target, that's my budget. If you do that, you'll be way ahead of the norm, and it'll be a good retirement thing for you, and it'll give you some money at the end.
Well, and it's going to be there. That's the thing, especially on the bank side of it here. If you put in the Vergas State Bank, we don't, it all stays here. Your interest just keeps growing here. We don't have it out on the market or anything like that. But as far as the Roth IRA and the regular traditional IRA, tell us the difference on that.
The regular IRA, you get to deduct that from your income, and so. Most people save, roughly 20%. So if you put $1,000 into your IRA, it'll lower your taxes by $200. If you put $1,000 into your Roth IRA, you don't get any tax deduction for it, but the earnings from that Roth IRA will grow tax-free, so that someday when you pull out of your Roth, it'll be tax-free income to you. So there is a difference between the two.
Okay. So Brad, just by listening to you, I know that I would want to come to a tax advisor, somebody that can help me with some of these questions and stuff. So a lot of the people, they're out there doing the thing on their own, the TurboTax. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I think that, those TurboTax things, they can help you, but they can't ask you the right questions, and so I think
everybody's situation's different.
There's more to talk about than just your income tax return. People have estates that they need to talk about. They have issues, planning. You can do some good planning just by saying, okay, how do you time your income? How do you prepare for the future so that when you get Social Security or something like that? So there's a lot of other questions that go into at least what we do. It's not just about doing the form, because we like to pride ourselves in the fact that we want people to understand how the system works, how they're going to plan for retirement, what's the best way for them. And there are some complexities. I just had a client in the other day that was trying to she did her own return and the credit for college tuition, she checked the wrong box. Well, she didn't know it. She got some of the deduction, but not all of it. And so I pointed it out right away to her and said, well, you missed out on about $1,400. And so, it doesn't happen all the time like that, but it can. It can,
yeah. So if you're a young person, make sure you get in, and they can sit down and visit with you, and you can help them with some of that.
Yep, exactly.
Well, congratulations on your new office.
Thank you very
make sure
much.
that everybody realizes that you do come to Vergas on Wednesdays during the tax season. And
just have to call the bank here, and the gals answer the phone for me, so it's really nice.
You got it pretty good.
I'm really lucky, because I have 5 or 6 receptionists every day.
Every day on Wednesdays.
So they take all my calls, and it works good. But Wednesdays I'm here usually from 9 till 5 o'clock, and
wonderful.
And right up through April 15th, and then after April 15th I still come on Wednesdays, but I don't get here right at 9, so I might get here a little bit later in the morning.
We'll cut you a break on that.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, thanks so much, Brad. You have a good day.
All right,
you have a good day in Vergas.